Hey everybody, it's Rory from ANS, and we are looking at a sight today. This is the Warrior Deluxe red-green dot sight with 4 different reticles on it. So let's open it up and take a look, shall we? All right, so inside here you're going to get a lens cleaner cloth, a little bit of an instruction manual on how to use it. You're going to get the sight itself, and then I believe you're going to get a battery and an Allen key, and oop, there's the other one. So 2 little Allen keys, a battery. The battery is a 2032 like watch style battery, or sometimes calculator battery or whatever. But 2032, you should find these all over the place if you ever need to replace one. So you have a little lens cover. Always use your lens cover when you're not playing to protect your glass so you don't break it, scratch it, crack it, whatever it happens to do. Those things are going to happen while you're playing. So don't make it happen faster while you're not playing. So use your lens cover when you're not using the sight. If we look at the back of the sight right here, right there, it's probably going to go out of focus. You can see that there is a little toggle on the back right here, which you can toggle across the back. So there are 4 different options when you use this toggle on the back for crosshair, or for reticles, I should call them. There's a single point dot. There's a circle with a dot in the middle, just your standard crosshair, and then a kind of a combination between the circle and the crosshair. So it's got the crosshairs, but a little bit of a circle all the way around it to make up the 4 different reticles that you're using. Now this is a red and green dot, so you can control the color on it from red to green, and from a brightness setting of off, which would be none, to I believe 5, right? So yeah, so 5. Obviously 1 being the dimmer setting, 5 being the brighter setting. On the top right here, if we unscrew this top little lid and take this off, this is where our battery is going to go, right down in there. And then we would just replace that. Make sure not to cross thread it. If it doesn't just thread in easy while you're turning it, then you probably have it cross threaded, and stop what you're doing and start over. All right. So to mount this up, I've got something right here to do it. We're going to use this little Allen key right here, and we're going to loosen up the sides. Now I'm going to see if I can loosen this one up just to the point where I can get it on, and I don't need to remove the screws all the way out. So we're going to put this back here. Woo! Don't worry, it's heavy duty construction. You see how close I am? Not quite there. Although I do want to make sure that I am, that will work. I want to make sure the spacing on the screws was in the right spot. You can see that there's only one that we're worrying about right here. This is going to work as a locking mechanism. This little screw passes through, and it's going to go in between the grooves on the rail system, which is going to lock it in place and not let it slide all around. I think we need to come out a little bit more on that one. There we go. Now it's seated on there. If you can undo them just enough to get it on and not take it all the way apart, it does make it a little bit easier. But if you do need to take it all the way apart, you can. All right, so now I've tightened that down on there. You can see what that looks like right there. So you can change your windage and your elevation. So if you see that on the top right there, it says up, and the arrow is telling you if you turn it in this direction, you will move it up. If you turn it in the opposite direction, it will go down. On the side right here, you have an R. So if you turn it in the direction of the arrow, it will move to the right. If you turn it in the other direction, it will move to the left. So you can control up, down, left, right with these 2 screws on the side right there. It's a good looking thing. I love these open air sights, the open air reticles. This is one of those things where you're not really looking through it. You're looking past it and just picking up that reticle in the distance. It's not a scope where you're like putting your eyeball right up to it and trying to look through it. You're putting it in your field of vision and then finding the reticle, and it looks like it's just floating out there in space. So it's very easy acquisition. You can bring the marker right up and find it right away. You don't need to worry about eye relief or having it a certain distance away from your eye. It's very easy to acclimate to it and to find the target inside there and then use it however you need to. So remember, we're not doing this with it. It's out in front of us and we're just looking past it, really. Easy on and off, 4 different options, 2 different colors. Make sure you use your lens covers. People break them all the time just by doing silly stuff or just putting it in their gear bag and not paying attention. So this will definitely save it. The Warrior Deluxe, red green dot, 4 different reticles. It's available through the website. Order yours now through ansgear.com.